Arthur Kayser, George Beck, Matthew Lilly, Ben Hunt, Freya Bond, Cian Kostler, Jack Hudson, Jack Gillett, Max Smith, Charlie Dickinson, Elijah West, Henry Perrin, Ethan Copland, Harrison Parkin, Louis Lavelle, Marley Fisher, Rishan Kostler, Oliver Dan, Harvey Ball, Jack Daniels, Max Tomset. That's the first 22, and then the novices in this race, in this class today are Jensen King, Warren Atkins, Zane Williams, Thomas Gulliver, Roman Takata, Lenny Dorrington and Ollie Garlinge. So they are 29 drivers for the Rotax Inters. They're just putting in their 2 half laps just to try and get a bit of warmth in them wet tyres before they go across the start finish line. Oh, bit of a spinner there. That's the 43. Ethan Copland. Ethan, that's because I'll give you a shout out. Don't worry, you'll get back in formation. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So gently come round. They'll get into formation. As they come across your camera angle for that start finish line, the pole is closest to you on screen. So the pole is on the right hand side, which is the 73 there of Harry Reid. So he'll come across closest to me and to you on screen. So he sets the start, and yet he crosses that start finish line first as they race down Tolly's Parsons into the Haynes Loop, and let's hope they all get round. That's what the aim is. Nice and steady, everybody through. Somebody a little bit wide there, but essentially everyone through as they go through the left-hander Johnnies down into the Whingers dip, carry a bit of speed before a big right-hander takes them back up the hill, and it looks like Harry Reid. The yellows are out, so something has happened on track, so no changing of position. And the start line clock above me is still saying 7 minutes, so we're going to go again. We are going to go again. So they'll cut through the bus stop here. They won't go up the hill. They'll cut through the bus stop. We are going to have a restart. Are they happy with this? The clock down, countdown clock above me starts ticking, and I tell you what, it's a disaster for Harry Reid because he's straight onto the grass. He led that opening. Oh, and we've got a real flip at the back there. That's terrible. Let's hope that is okay. That is going to cause a bit of a pause to proceedings. That's Thomas Gulliver in the 67. The 18 of Rian Kostler up and okay. And the 43 there of Ethan Copland, who's had plenty of shout-outs and had some unfortunate luck. But that is going to cause a red and be our first real delay. What we'll do is we'll take the cameras off. Slower than you do in the dry. That's an obvious statement, but it is indeed the statement. So we will go back to, we had an incident-packed start to the Inters race a moment ago. They are back out on track now. We have swapped over. And the Inters will come out for their first heat as we go through these first round of heats for everybody. And yeah, I'm just reading your comments as I'm trying to watch what's on screen as well as your comments. We are going to try and pick up on everybody that's in the race and bring you a bit of footage on everybody. But again, if there's a race developing, the guys on the camera will focus on that. But we'll try and get some elbows and nudges into the team to try and get everybody on track at some point. That's what we'd like to do. But when there is a battle and there is something going on track, the guys will try and stick with it. But we will do our best. We will do our best. So we've moved on. We are with the Inters now. They're back out on track after that incident. Thankfully, everybody's okay. Thankfully, the guys that were involved in the incident themselves are okay. Hopefully, their karts are okay as well. And again, on screen, you can see on the left-hand side from 22 down to 26. Those guys are our novices in this race. We've got a full grid on this one, 26 karts. And we're off and racing. It is the 19 kart of Arthur Kayser. He's out front, hands up. I think we're going to get a restart on that one. Just got a spinner there. That's the 44 of Henry Perrin. But the hands went up early from the drivers. Any incident on track, the drivers will pop their hands up. Just to highlight that. There's the 44 of Harry, just taking a bit of a spin. But there is a restart to the race, so no real damage done. He'll be able to get back in and work his way back up through. And we'll look to go again. So 6 or 7 novices in this race. They will start near the back of the grid. And they'll start at the back of the grid for each of their 3 heats. but they want to push for points to get as good a start position as they can in that A final at the end of the day. So the half lap, they'll just cut through bus stop here. They won't go up the hill. They'll cut through to the right, back onto the start finish line. And then, as we've said for the other three, let's just get everybody around the Haynes Loop, through Johnny's, down into Winger's Dip. No incidents this time. Everybody through. Oh, we have an incident in the back of the pack there. A couple of drivers have come off, got 3 on the grass, but they're all still running. Hopefully they can run and get back on track. Bit of sideward movement for a couple of guys as they go through Haynes Loop for the first time, down through Johnny's, left-hander into the Winger's Dip. Everybody through, move in. Yeah, that's good. We have lost one driver, and I've got a funny feeling it's the same driver that we lost in the incident. So a terrible start to his day. But on track, we can see there a little bit of a lead starting to be pulled out as they go up the hill through the bus stop, taking a bit of curb. Up through Midgets, down into Climate. So the leader has just pulled out. There is going to be a flag out because we've got a kart on the grass just before the Haynes Loop, just past the start finish line. So there is a flag out as they go through, but it is the 53 kart of Ben Hunt. He's out front at the moment, with Harry Reid, Elijah West, Arthur Kayser, Kian Kosler, George Beck, Jack Gillett and Freya Bond. They make up the top 8 as they make their way round Haynes Loop through Johnny's, down into the Winger's Dip. Just a little bit of a gap there for Ben Hunt out front from the chasing Harry Reid and Elijah West. A little bit of fresh air there. That's Harry Reid on screen in the green car. The white airing and helmet there, that's Ben Hunt out front. Nice battle for second between Harry Reid and Elijah West there, as I think Elijah has gone through there into second. There's Elijah, but I think the favour is going to be returned a couple of times as they go through. There we go. There's the battle for second and third, and they're exchanging places. There's the 99 of Elijah West and the 73 of Harry Reid. They've had a good old ding-dong in the first couple of laps, but it is the 53 of Ben Hunt who is out front. Harry Reid and Elijah West battling for second and third. Kian Kosler, he's picking up the 4th at the moment from Arthur Kayser in 5th. George Beck in 6th, Jack Gillett 7th and Freya Bond in 8th. As they race down into Winger's Dip. Everybody safely through. There's just that stranded kart. You can just see, I think we've got a couple on track now. There's a couple of karts that aren't going to see the remainder of this race out. I think it's the 14 of Jensen King and the 68 of Zane Williams, unfortunately. We can confirm that as the race develops, as the guys race up the hill into Midgets. The front 2 now are just starting to pull away a tiny bit, little bit of a gap there from 3rd place. Everybody safely through. So it is the 53 of Ben Hunt. He's holding that lead, but Elijah West just keeping tabs in 2nd from Harry Reid in 3rd. The 12th of Kian Kosler in 4th. The 19th of Arthur Kayser, George Beck comes through. Jack Gillett, Marley Fisher up a couple of places. Done very well there. So a little bit of movement. Marley Fisher, Max Smith, Freya Bond. They make up that top 10. So we have unfortunately lost a couple of karts early on in this race. The majority are still out there on track. Up the hill, bit of curb, you can see them bouncing through. It's the 81 there of Marley Fisher, just gaining on the 56 of Jack Gillett. Everybody bouncing through the bus stop. You can see how much curb they take as they come through there. And again, we've got a spinner out front. Just trying to keep tabs on the full course here. There we can see another stranded driver. Careful, there's a bit of contact there, maybe from the 56. Jack Gillett, I don't know where there was a bit of contact there on the rear. The kart in front spin. And again, any penalties, I'm not getting the penalties directly through to me here. So any of these will be added on after the race. So the finishing order that I give you on screen potentially might change when it goes back into pit and race marshals, and then add on any penalties. So our Alpha Live will ultimately give you the confirmed finishing order from what we potentially show on screen. So yellows are out when the guys are coming around Midgets at the top, down into Climate. I think it's the 26 kart of Harrison Park, and I think he had a spin. Yeah, the 26 of Harrison Park, and he had a spin. So a nice battle there. That's a 19 kart. Nice battle as they come through us, the 19 and the 81. That's Marley Fisher and Arthur Kayser having a battle, which is great to see as they go through Haynes Loop. But the leader, Elijah West, has got himself up to the lead from Ben Hunt and Harry Reid in third. Kian Kosler in fourth, Marley Fisher in fifth. There we go, we've got the timings on screen for you now. You can see what is going on. Bouncing as they come through. Pit stop there, racing up into midgets, into that right-hander. And they race down towards me in the comms box, sat on the start-finish line. So the 26 of Harrison Parkin, he's racing at the rear now. He's just a stone's throw ahead of the leaders, so not sure whether they'll catch him up or not, but it is the 99 of Elijah West that goes across the start-finish line from Ben Hunt, with Harry Reid, Kian Kosler, third and fourth. Marley Fisher, Marley Fisher actually I think has moved up a spot, fifth. But it is, we know, that man there, 99, Elijah West, he's out front from 53 of Ben Hunt from Harry Reid is 73-12 of Kian Kosler. Makes up the front running of this race, and there's a bit of a lead for Elijah West now. He's got about a second over Ben Hunt in second place. The yellows are out. We have an incident just on the entry to the start-finish line, which was a little bit down the order with Oliver Garlinge in the 11 car and the 24 car of Oliver Dan. So again, they're now just in front of the leaders, and Elijah West has now moved in front. He comes across the start-finish line now with the 26 car, who is essentially the tail of the race now. Harrison Parkin, he's just in the way of the second place car, Ben Hunt at the minute. Ben gets around as they go through the Haynes Loop. John is down into Whingers. So the front two have now got ahead of Harrison. But Harrison's got some pace, so I don't anticipate the whole field is going to overtake him. There's a lap and a bit to go. But whether the third and fourth place car of Harry Reid, Kian Kosler, Marley Fisher, whether they'll catch up with Harrison remains to be seen. So we are on the last lap. We are going to get the last lap board out, and it may well be the checkered flag that we're going to see. We've got that one lap to go. I think we've got that one lap to go, and Elijah West has got this one comfortable now. There's a bit of a gap down to Ben Hunt in second and Harry Reid in third. So here we go, we have the last lap board. So one lap for Elijah West to hold on from Ben Hunt in second. And 73 Harry Reid in third. There's quite a few back markers now getting pulled into that front running of the action, but we'll keep our eyes on Elijah West now as he moves round that final lap. All drivers coming over the start-finish line for that last lap. But it is Elijah West out front from Ben Hunt. Harry Reid in third at the moment. They make up the top three. You can just see Elijah coming through. Looked like he was in second, but he's not. He's just caught up the 24 car there of Oliver Dan. He just moves past him with Ben Hunt still to do that. But with a half a lap to go, the race is essentially sewn up as long as Elijah gets around these last two corners safely and comfortably, which it looks like he's going to do. So it will be a checkered flag dropped for Elijah West from Ben Hunt in second place. I think Harry Reid was still holding on, a few back markers in the mix, but it is Harry Reid who's picked up the third place, with the fourth going to Kian Kosler just from Marley Fisher there. Close run over the line from fourth and fifth. And Rishan Kosler, in sixth, from George Beck seventh, Arthur Kayser in eighth, Jack Gillett in ninth, and Jack Daniels in 10th position. So everybody crossing that start-finish line. Punch of the air from the 16, Lenny Dorrington there, who is a novice plate today, and up to 15th position for him in the 16 kart. So he's a very good race from Lenny Dorrington there. So thankfully, the incident we had that stopped this heat earlier on, the guys that were involved in that, they are okay, which is great news. That's the most important thing. And they will be able to compete, and as long as the kart's okay and they can get any issues fixed on the kart, they are in good health, which is fantastic to hear. So that was the runners for the Rotax Inter heat number one. It was a win for Elijah West from Ben Hunt, Harry Reid in third, Kian Kosler fourth, there we go, Marley Fisher in fifth, Rishan Kosler picked up the sixth place finish, and the remainder of your top 10 was George Beck, Arthur Kayser, Jack Gillett and Jack Daniels. So some good action there from the guys, some good racing incident coming through. Parsons there before the Haynes Loop, but they all managed to get themselves back on track And then Elijah West really took hold of the race early on with Ben Hunt and Harry Reid. Some good racing there. That's the 73 kart of Harry Reid, who was up there at the start of the race, dropped down to third in the end. As Ben got himself up in, Ben Hunt got himself up into second place. So a shout out on the link there for Ben Hunt in the 53 car. Did very well. Elijah got himself into the lead in the end, but Ben with a solid finish. So well done to him. And we'll get our runners and riders for this one. Again, we've got a full grid. 28 on track in this one. 7 novice plates in this. So regardless of how well those guys did in the first run-in of this race, and Lenny Dorrington, he did very well. He moved himself up the order quite a way, to be honest. In the Inters, it was Elijah West that took the checkered flag from Ben Hunt, Harry Reid, Kian Kostler, Marley Fisher, Rishan Kostler. That was the top 5 or 6, and again Jack Daniels, he moved up 13 places. Harvey Ball moved up 11, and Lenny Dorrington, he went up 13 places in the novice plate number 16. He did very well in the first run-in of this heat, in the first heat of this one. So this is the second heat, which is going to see Harvey Ball on pole from Jack Daniels, Mac Tomsit, Louis Lavelle, Harrison Parkin, Charlie Dickinson, Max Smith, Rishan Kostler down in 8th. Here we go. Oh no, we're going to go around again. We're going to go around again. It just gives the guys another chance to take in half a lap. Under control, though, they can't just go flat out, they want them to stay in formation. Yeah, Marley Fisher, Kian Kostler, George Beck, Arthur Kayser, Oliver Dan, Freya Bond, Jack Gillett, Harry Reid, Ethan Copland, Jack Hudson, Elijah West. So Elijah won the last one, he's down in 19th. Be interesting to see how he gets on now from the back of the grid. Henry Perrin, Ben Hunt, and then we've got the novice plates of Zane Williams, Ollie Garlinge, Roman Takata, Lenny Dorrington, Warren Atkins, Jensen King and Thomas Gulliver. So good luck to those guys. And we can see him in formation on track. Harvey Ball and Jack Daniels there at the front of this one, followed by Max Tomsit and Harrison Parkin in that 3rd and 4th spot. You can just see the 23 of Louis Lavelle there on the inside. Next to him will be the 79 of Charlie Dickinson. So these guys get to go again and just add some more points to that Heat 1 that they had earlier on. Here we go then. We have got a green light to go now. Oh, and it's such a shame. Jack Daniels straight off track, but he gets back on again. So he has dropped way down the order, but he did come off on that first. I don't know if there was contact or it's just that racing for position as they go through, but Harvey Ball, Harrison Parkin, Max Thompson, Charlie Dickinson there, now the ones at the front. You can see the 53 there moving through, but yeah, it was a real shame. Came off on that first corner. So the 26 of Harrison Parkin and the 40 there of Harvey Ball, they're the two leading the way at the moment. We did lose Jack Daniels in that first, got back on, but he's near the back of the pack. Somebody just going over the bus stop rather than through it there. As they go up into midgets for the first time. Front two just creating a tiny gap there. Harvey Ball and Harrison Parkin from Max Thompson, Charlie Dickinson, Louis Lavelle, Kian Kostler, Max Smith, who are chasing hard. 26 and 40, that's your two front runners. So everything will adjust here as we come across the start-finish line for the first time. Yeah, Harrison Parkin, Harvey Ball, Louis Lavelle, Marley Fisher, Charlie Dickinson, Kian Kostler. They're the guys leading the way as they go through Haynes Loop for the second time. Head down into the Wingers dip, just trying to see where Jack Daniels 17th. Unfortunately, Jack dropped from that starting pole. Bit of chaos going through Parsons as they head towards Haynes Loop for the first time, and he was the main loser in there, unfortunately, and he ended up dropping way down the order. But there's our front runners. Let's concentrate on them for the minute as this race develops. A bit of a move there from Marley Fisher up the inside. The 40 of Harvey Ball there in second still. 81 there of Marley Fisher, again up the inside of Harvey Ball. Into second place, Louis Lavelle out front, Marley Fisher second, Harvey Ball third, Harrison Parkin fourth, Charlie Dickinson fifth, That's our front 5, and they've just created a tiny gap to 6th place Elijah West at the moment. But Elijah West, who started in, where did I say? 19th. Elijah West up to 6th already. That's a phenomenal start. Incredible first few laps for him to get himself up into that position, and he will be hunting down that front 5, that's for sure. So we can keep an eye on Elijah West, the 99 plated car. He started in 19th. He is now 6th, and I dare say by the time they cross me here on the start finish line, he may well be further up the order. So the leader's coming around Climate down into Tolly's for that left-hander. So it is the 81 of Marley Fisher from the 23 of Louis Lavelle. 4th now for Elijah West, behind 3rd place Harvey Ball. Harrison Park in 5th, Charlie Dickinson 6th, Oliver Dan 2nd, Max Smith is in 8th, Kian Kosler 9th, and Ben Hunt, they make up your top 10 as we're halfway, moving near halfway in this race. So Marley Fisher's done incredibly well to move up that order, and again I'll start looking at who's had the big jump, who's moving up the order. So 9 places for Marley Fisher has gained to take the lead in this one. 16 places for Elijah West to get up to 4th. 7th for Oliver Dan. He's gone up 7 places into 7th. So he's done extremely well. And a little bit further down the order, the novice plate of Zane Williams, 68. He's gone up 9th places, 215. So quite a few big movers. There's Marley Fisher, sorry, Elijah West up to 2nd. And gunning for top spot. Louis Lavelle 3rd, Harvey Ball 4th. And Harrison Parking in 5th at the moment. But Elijah West is the one to watch in that 99 car. All the way up. 18 places now into 2nd place, and I dare say, just off the track. Saved it there, well done whoever that was. You've lost 4 or 5 places, but you've got yourself back on and back into the mix again, which is good. So the drivers are heading up, and I think I've just seen Elijah West up into midgets take that lead from Marley Fisher. As they come down closer to me, I'll be able to confirm that, but it does look like the dark suit, leaning back technique, seating position of Elijah West. Yeah, he's taken the lead in this one from Marley Fisher. The 23 of Louis Lavelle still holding on to 3rd, as in Harvey Ball in 4th. Close battle between the 79 and the 61 there, of Max Smith and Charlie Dickinson for that 6th and 7th position. But Elijah West has really stamped his authority on this race. He's moved through pretty much from the back of the grid to the front to take the lead. 19 positions gained. Ben Hunt in 8th position, he's gained 14 places, so he's had a lot of movement. Oliver Dan up into 5th, he's gained 9 places as well. So some big movers, which is a couple of contact warnings. Kian Costa and Ben Hunt have picked up a couple of contacts. I'll try and pick up on the warnings and the penalties if I can as well, but so much going on track, that's my main focus as Elijah West crosses the start finish line again. So there's a black and an orange flag out, which is a mechanical issue for somebody, and I think it's the 26th car of Harrison Parkin. So he's just got to be aware that something's not right with his car. Whether that means he's got to pull into it just to get that rectified and sorted. But he does have that black, very distinctive black. Yeah, the rear's hanging off the cart there. We can see that. So he's going to have to go in and get that sorted. But back to the action on track as the guys come through. That's the you can see that the 22 kart there of Warren Atkins. He's chasing that little pack of 4 karts there, which is led by 15th of Jack Daniels. 37 in the mix there is Freya Bond, and the 86 of George Beck. So a good little battle going on there. A little bit down the order from the front runners, as Elijah West is still out front from Marley Fisher. Elijah West just pulling away now. 3rd place is Louis Lavelle in the 23, 40 and 24. In close proximity, Harvey Ball and Oliver Dan. Some really close battles going on down the order as they come past me there. You can see it on screen. And that's that same battle that we were talking about earlier on, which at the moment is being led, I think, by that 96 kart. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're from Freya Bond 37, Jack Daniels 15, George Beck 86. There's a good little battle going on there with those guys. You can see the 86 just coming back at it. George Beck, as they come through the bus stop, bouncing away Elijah West just overtaking 55, which is back marker Roman Takata. He's a novice driver, he's learning his way. He's been picked off by the leader Elijah West, and second place Marley Fisher is going to grab him soon as well, as will Louis Lavelle, Harvey Ball as they come through, Oliver Dan, Ben Hunt, Max Smith, Charlie Dickinson, Kian Kosler and Rishan Kosler. They make up the top 10, the 9th and 10th, just from Zane Williams with the novice plate 68. He's gained 12 places to get up on the cusp, 13 actually now, to get on the cusp of the top 10. Incredible drive. Lenny Dorrington, he's gone up 6 places. So some good movement from some of the novice plated drivers, which will be confidence boosting for them. It will be adding points to their heats, even though in the third heat they will go back to the rear of the grid. But once it comes to that final, these points that they've accumulated will boost them up into a good position. So Elijah West out front, he takes the last lap board from Marley Fisher. That's the 55 right at the rear, Roman Takata there. The 23 ball plate of Louis Lavelle from 40 and 24. Harvey Ball and Oliver Dan in close racing action there. Max Smith just a little bit further behind in the 61. Charlie Dickinson, Kian Kosler, Shan Kosler, they make up the top 10. Ethan Copland, he's down in 21st with Jensen King, Oliver Garlinge, Thomas Gulliver and a Roman Takata. We lost a couple of drivers as this race has developed, but the leader out front is Elijah West from Marley Fisher. So Elijah's out front, that's second place. We can see Marley Fisher there on screen in the 81. So Elijah comes round Tollies to take the checkered flag in front of me, not on your screen, you're looking at the second place car. So it is Elijah West with the win from Marley Fisher. And then we've just got a bit of a wait to see who's going to get, I think Louis Lavelle is going to get, Lovell Lavelle is going to get that 23rd place. Yes, he picks up that third spot from Oliver Dan in the end, from Ben Hunt and Harvey Ball in 6th. So a bit of a battle there developed on that last lap, just jostling for places. And Max Smith, Charlie Dickinson, King Kosler, and Rishan Kosler, they make up the top 10. Zane Williams, the top plated, the top finishing novice plate driver, came up 13 places. So Elijah West 19 places, Ben Hunt 17 places. They were the big winners, along with Zane Williams. And Warren Atkins as well with a novice plate 22. He did very well down the order, didn't really give him much of a shout out. And Lenny Dorrington again has gained another 7 places as well. So there's our top 10. Already gave those guys a call out, and you can see the times are getting faster. The 49s, they weren't clocking that earlier. They were the 51s, 52s, even a bit slower than that. But they're starting to dial into it now and have a bit more confidence that the track is drying, which it is in places. In front of me, we've got a blue sky, so the weather is playing ball, which is wonderful. And there is a lot of dry patches you can see now. So drivers are going to have a decision to make in terms of tyres, because that main drag you can see on screen there on that replay, that's really starting to dry out now. So they will be looking to change tyres, I imagine, if this rain holds off. There's no hanging about as we move into the Rotax Inters Heat 3. And again, 29 karts on track. Let's talk you through where we are at with these guys. On the front of the grid, we're going to see Ethan Copeland, Henry Perrin, Oliver Dan, Elijah West, that's your front 4, and then Jack Hudson, Marley Fisher, Rishan Kosler, Jack Gillett, Ben Hunt, Max Thompson, Jack Daniels, Harvey Ball, Lou Lavelle, Harrison Parkin, Freya Bond, Max Smith, Charlie Dickinson, Kian Kosler, Harry Reid, Arthur Kaiser, George Beck, Thomas Gulliver, Ollie Garlinge, Lenny Dorrington, Henry Atkins, Jason King, Zane Williams and Roman Takata. And from the 23rd place down to 28th, Thomas all the way through to Roman. Those are novice guys. Some of them have done really well, gaining some lovely places and picking up some big points this afternoon. So they'll want to do that again, because obviously they do revert back to the back of the grid. It's all part of being a novice. You get the races that you need to do to go through, races and events, and then you lose that novice plate, and then you go toe to toe, and things change for you. So good luck to all those guys today in this race and every race. And again, bottom of our screen, we can see BKC Racing, another one of our sponsors that we've got sponsoring the Forest Edge Kart Championship this year. So a big shout out. They're continually looping in that bottom right hand corner. So a big thank you to them for their support of the event. DRJ Motorsport Services, another one that's just popped up. So here we go into, are we going to get a clean start and off straight away? Let's have a look. Oh no, we're going to go around again. The 99 there of Elijah West. He was 4th on the grid, and on our time, as you can see there on the left, he went through first, which he can't do. So he needs to fill that back in. You got to wait for. You've got to adhere to the 43 driver, which is Ethan Copland. He's in charge of the start. It's a rolling start, but as soon as he's crossed that finish line, it's race on. But until he has, everybody else essentially has to go at his or her speed. So Ethan is in charge of the start, so to speak. So they'll just come round again, get back in formation, get back in order. We'll try and go again. So this is the last qualifying heat for the Inters. This is their last outing. And again, there'll be a tiny break, I would imagine, as we finish the heats before we move into the finals, just to make sure we know all the runners and riders and get everybody in the right order and the right races. A few bit of bumping, boring going through. Okay, let's see if we can get a clean start this time. So Ethan, you dictate the start. And I tell you what, again, the 99 of Elijah West is. I don't know if he didn't cause that little bit of carnage there on the first turn for these guys. I'd have to see a replay of it, but we've got a couple of boys there that are stranded and they're probably not going to get those carts moving. That's heartbreak in the opening corner for them. But what it does do is it gives us the opening lap as they come up through the bus stop and head up towards midgets. I think the yellow flag is going to come out. I'm trying to see that. I can't see the number of the carts that are stranded here. The guys have got to try and get themselves back off the grass. And again, just to point, when I say guys, I mean guys and girls. I call everybody guys. They've got to get themselves back on. So Elijah West is out front from the 81 of Marley Fisher. 24, Oliver Dam, Ben Hunt, Jack Daniels, Louis Devell, Harvey Ball, Freya Bond, Max Smith, Harrison Parkin. That's how the opening lap has evolved. We have lost two drivers that are not going to be happy. Hopefully they got enough points in their opening couple of races to give them a good grid position in the final. I think it's at the 90, isn't that Max Thompson? I think is the 96 there. He's doing all he can. He's using every ounce of his energy. Yeah, that is Max, to get himself back on track. Yellow flags, he's blowing, he's trying really hard. I'm trying to concentrate on the two things. The yellow flags are out as they come round Parsons into Haynes Loop. So let's concentrate on the race now. Elijah West is out front. He's got the lead from Marley Fisher. The 24 of Oliver Dan in third. Ben Hunt, Jack Daniels, bit of movement. Louis Lavelle coming up into fifth from Jack Daniels, Harvey Ball, Freya Bond, Max Smith, Harrison Parkin. So pretty much as we were for that first lap. So they have got a yellow as they go through Haynes, from Parsons through Haynes Loop. But then it's back on the gas down through Johnny's, down into the right-hander at the winger's dip, the Winger's dip. And then they come back up through the bus stop. A little bit off the gas as they come through, but then back on it as they head up into midgets. So the yellows are still out, and Max Thompson's doing all he can do to get his car back on the track. Fair play to him, because he's not going to finish anywhere other than last. But so through they go. Still yellows out as they come through this part of the course, so no one's going to change positions here. Elijah, Marley, Oliver, Ben, Louis, Jack, Harvey, Freya, Max, Harrison. That's our order as we speak. As we look back, there's a couple of close races back down the order. A few of the guys in the mix. Time seems to escape me, so I can't at a quick glance see who's moving up and who's moving down through the order. So I'm just going to concentrate on what I can see. And that is Elijah West coming across the start-finish line again with 3 minutes to go from Marley Fisher, as it has been from the outset. Oliver Dan still holding on to that third place from Ben Hunt, Louis Lavelle, Jack Daniels, Harvey Ball, Freya Bond, Max Smith and Harrison Parkin. Kian Kostler, Arthur Kaiser, they're 11 and 12 from George Beck, Charlie Dickinson, Zane Williams. Has done extremely well to come from the back of the grid with that novice plate up into the mix and into some better points. So there's the 15 and the 40 of Jack Daniels and Harvey Ball. They've got a bit of a battle going on themselves. They're in the top 10, so they've got some nice points being earned here. And again, in that situation, you're in the pack, but you've got to work together to try and reel in whoever's in front of you. Elijah is coming across the start-finish line again, followed by Harvey Ball. And again, I don't think we've got a change in that front 10 as they come across. Yep, Louis Lavalle's gone up a spot in front of Ben Hunt, so Louis the only mover on that last lap in the top 10. And a great move coming through through Parsons there from the 24 car of Oliver Dan. Great move, so he will have gone up into, I think, either second or third place after that move. I'll keep an eye as they come through the bus stop, up into third, I think, from Oliver Dan. So as they go up, they've gone round. Eloise just getting drawn in a little bit by Marley Fish. Had a bit of a gap before. Second, no, not even a second, I would say. As they come round, Tolly's back into the start-finish line again. It is Elijah from Marley still. No, there he goes, the 96. And that's a back marker. Yeah. So that has Max Thompson. He's got back on track, so he is well at the back, but he's getting some laps in, good for him. So it's Oliver Dan in third, Louis Lavelle fourth, Ben Hunt in fifth, Jack Daniels from Harvey Ball, Freya Bond, Max Smith and Kian Kostler. They make up the top 10. Arthur Kayser in 11th, George Beck 12. So we will concentrate on the front. We've got a couple of laps to go. We'll concentrate on the front too, although Elijah seems to have just pulled away in that bottom part of the circuit up through the bus stop into midgets. He's got a nice gap out front now from, that's the 24th third car, Oliver Dan at the moment. That's Max Thompson there. He's essentially the back marker, having come off on the first corner. So Elijah West is in control. Marley Fisher's in second. And then we've got a close old battle going on here from Oliver Dan, Louis Lavelle, Ben Hunt, Jack Daniels. That's worth watching, what you can see on screen there. Whoa, and again, he's just got, oh, that is Max Thompson. He keeps getting in my view. That's a good little battle we've got going on there. We've got 5 or 6 cars all vying for nice points in the top 10. Elijah West has pulled away from Marley Fisher out front, probably about a 3-second gap now, I think. So you'd think the first and second is in the bag. It's what's going to happen after then as they come through the bus stop. He's still Oliver Dan leading the way. He's about 4 seconds behind second, so his battle is with the carts behind him. He's got to try and hold on to that third place and keep them behind. And it is Louis Lavelle and Ben Hunt that are really pushing him. So come across start-finish line. It's not the last, so there's going to be 2 laps to go here. This battle here, we've got 6 carts in view there. That's going from third place all the way back. You can see 8th, 9th. Everybody else is just a bit strung out as we go down the order. And then there's a rare old battle going right at the back of the pack, which we potentially won't focus on. They're just coming over the start-finish line now. But from the number 11 car of Ollie Garland all the way back to, I think it's the 44 car of Henry Perrin, they're all really close in that little battle for those minor places. So Elijah West leads into the last lap from Marley Fisher. That is your first and second. And then we've got really close 3-way battle, Oliver Dan, Louis Lavelle and Ben Hunt for that third place. And then a tiny gap really to the next 3, which is Harvey Ball, Jack Daniels and Freya Bond. And then Max Smith's got a bit of a lonely drive back to Arthur Kay, about 4.5 seconds behind. So we're on our last lap. Elijah West is going to win. There's no question about that. So I don't know if there's any penalties, but let's concentrate on the track. Elijah West is out front from Marley Fisher. They're 1 and 2, and just going up through the bus stop. A gap really now has been created by Oliver Dan. He's stamped third place. He's got that, and then really close as they come over the line from the 23 of Louis Lavelle, Ben Hunt, Harvey Ball, Jack Daniels, Freya Bond, all on top of each other there to the 61 of Max Smith. Arthur Kayser in the 19. He takes that 10th spot. George Beck 11th, Kian Kostler, Zane Williams up from the back of the grid to 13th, so some good points for the final for him. Charlie Harrison just looked like he jumped up there into 13th or 14th. Yeah, up to 14th for Harrison, right at the last from Charlie Dickinson. So that was our last Inters. Relatively straightforward race, bit of a messy start. But Elijah West, I keep saying Elijah Wood. Elijah West doesn't seem to have been penalised for what I thought might have been a bit of a jump start. But I am only commentating. I am referee or clerk of the course. So that is how it has finished. Well done to those guys. So again, all of these guys will go into their respective final. It's just the order that they're going to finish in. Oh no, just looking back to that, Elijah did come off afterwards. So now I take all of that back. That was a great start from Elijah West, I think. He just bided his time and then moved to the right and got a nice run around. And then the carnage was all behind him, maybe by him getting past people. But now a very clean start and a deserved winner. He did very well there. That's why we enjoy replays. So a win in Heat 3 for Elijah West, as it was a win in Heat 2 for Elijah West. Again, it's a work in progress with us on the stream. So let me just quickly try and run through, if I've got time, for this 10-minute Rotax Inter A final. Elijah West will be on pole, followed by Marley Fisher, Harvey Ball, Ben Hunt, Louis Lavelle, Oliver Dan, Max Smith, Jack Daniels, Freya Bond, Charlie Dickinson, Arthur Kayser, Kian Kostler, Rishan Kostler, Zane Williams, Harry Reid, Jack Gillett, George Beck, Lenny Dorrington, Henry Perrin, Jack Hudson, Warren Atkins, Max Thompson, Jensen King, Ollie Garlinge, Roman Takata, Harrison Parkin, Thomas Gulliver and Ethan Copland. So they make up your Rotax Inter final. Zane Williams, Lenny Dorrington, they're the front-placed novice drivers. They've done really well to get 14th and 18th respectively. Warren Atkins in 22 as well is a novice driver. So good luck to all these guys in this race now. This is your Rotax Inters. Elijah West has been at the front all day. He starts at the front in this one. Are we going to get a clean, straight off start? Lights go out and away we go, and it is Elijah West who's held that lead from Marley Fisher and Harvey Ball, Ben Hunt, as they go through turns 1 and 2, which is the Haynes Loop. Come back round into the left-hander, which is Johnny's, down into the Wingers dip. Everybody through safely this time, that's good. Some different track lines being used there, especially from the 11 kart of Ollie Garlinge. He had a different line to everybody else. Hopefully he made it work and gained himself a place. But Elijah West out front from Marley Fisher, Harvey Ball, as they come through the bus stop, up into into Midget, then down into Climate. Again, we're losing the sunlight now. So, I prefer to the screen a bit more, but still we get the vantage point of all the karts out on track, which I love. So Elijah West will come across the start-finish line in front from Marley Fisher. Ben Hunt up into third from Harley Ball, Oliver Dan, Louis Lavelle, Jack Daniels, Max Smith, Kian Kostler and Zane Williams, who has gained a few places, up from 14th into the top 10. With that novice play, he's done exceptionally well to get himself up into that top 10 so early on. The guys all circumnavigate Haynes Loop before Johnny's down into Wingers. That's Elijah West on screen. So we'll just concentrate as all the guys come through the bus stop. Taking a little bit of curb, not too much from these guys. As they come through, they'll touch that curb, and that's the angle on Midgets at the top before they drop down into Climate. Try and see as many of those karts come through there as we can. Back down to the home straight, where we will see Elijah West from Marley Fisher. Ben Hunt still holding third from Harvey Ball. Louis Lavelle moves up into fifth from Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels, Max Smith, Kian Costa and Zane Williams, and Jensen King in that novice 14 plate. He might well have moved up a few places as well. Freya Bond there in 11th. So concentrating on our guys out front just for the moment. That's the 81 kart of Marley Fisher in second. That's Elijah West out front there that you can see. Everyone comes through. And again, just a little bit of curb as they come through, keeping it nice and tight through the bus stop. Elijah West really dominating today. He's been exceptional all day. He's bossed it from the front, driven really well. Even in the wet, he goes into Haynes Loop in the lead from Marley Fisher, Ben Hunt, Louis Lavelle, Harvey Ball. That's still our top 5, and there is a bit of a battle developing behind, which we're just seeing on screen there. So that's a little bit further down. I think that's the 12 kart, I think, there of Kian Kostler. So that's the battle there for like 7th through till 10th or 11th. Quite a close little battle that we've got down in the middle of the track there. There's not much happening with the front guys, so we'll try and concentrate if we can on what's going on in the middle order. There's a bit more of a bit race, a bit more things going on. There we go. That's that middle pack there from the 61 of Max Smith back through Kian Kostler, Zane Williams. That little battle and a good move up the inside there from the 38. Is that the 38 car? But back under my nose in the 12. The 12 kart was the big winner there. They came through under my nose. A really good battle that we've got there in that middle order. Still out front, you've got Elijah West from Marley Fisher, from Ben Hunt, Louis Lavelle, Harvey Ball, Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels, Kian Kostler, Max Smith and Freya Bond. They make up the top 10. Nice move from the 23 kart there of Louis Lavelle up the inside of the 53, which is Ben Hunt. And he gives that finger wag. Let's go, let's chase, let's get work together, let's try and catch up the guys in front. That's what you want to be doing. Reeling everybody else. Out front, Elijah West has some fresh air as he comes under my nose He is 1.3 seconds ahead of second place. Louis Lavelle has moved up into third place from Ben Hunt, Harvey Ball, Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels, Kian Kostler, Max Smith and Zane Williams. That's still our top 10. And again, things just calming down a tiny bit. A little battle that we had in that middle order there. We can see the 53 of Ben Hunt. Still points on to battle for the 23 Louis Lavelle there. So that's the third and fourth battle. See the 40 car of Harvey Ball. So this is a nice little battle that we've got just behind the leading pack. So they come round. Elijah West has got first wrapped up at the moment. Marley Fisher the same for second. But the battle for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, that's a really intense one at the minute with those 5 carts all looking. And then behind them there's another run of 4 carts from 8th through till 12th, which is Kian Kostler, Max Smith, Zane Williams. There's a real battle going on there as well, just for those minor placings within that top 10 spot. But Elijah West will let him race away out front with Marley Fisher. First and second carts, they've got fresh air. They're in their own little races. They've got to concentrate and focus on what they're doing. They are going to catch up with a couple of back markers as the race develops, I think. I forgot my thumb, I need to have a thumb. So as Elijah comes under my nose, he's catching up with the 55 car of Roman Takata at the back. But that battle there between 23, 53, 40, 24, that's a really good battle. Louis Lavelle, Ben Hunt, Harvey Ball, Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels. That's a really good battle that we've got developing there, which is essentially for the third place in the race. So that is what we will keep our focus on for the minute. Louis Lavelle just holding it with that distinctive helmet that he's got. He's holding on to that third place at the minute. That 55 kart, that is our back marker, Roman Takata. They've all got to circumnavigate him. They'll hopefully see some blue flashing lights and flags, which will just indicate to him that the front runners are coming up to overtake him. So the front 2 have got past him. There is a back marker, Roman Takata. He is still kind of holding that third spot with the third place guys chasing him down, and it's still, as they come over that start finish line, Louis Lavelle, Ben Hunt, Harvey Ball, Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels. That's a real race developing, and I just hope that Roman Takata is getting that blue flag so he knows just to move off the racing line, just to allow the guys through, and he's done that. Will he just come off the gas a little bit? Oh, he's still in the mix as they go into Winger's Dip. He's just maybe got in the way of a couple of Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels, maybe there. Just slowing them up a little bit as that pack fights for third. First is looking Elijah West. He's his to lose. He's in control. He's out front. He's a good 3-4 seconds now ahead of Marley Fisher as he comes across the start-finish line. Marley Fisher. We're looking at the battle there. Louis Lavelle for third. There's a 3-second gap between first and second, and then there is a 3-second gap back to Louis Lavelle, Ben Hunt, Harvey Ball, Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels in that fight for third. So that is a really good race developing for that third place position. Little move there up the inside and a bit of movement. Yeah, good overtake. I think that was the 24 of Oliver Dan just gained a position coming out of Haynes Loop there through Johnny's down into the Winger's Dip. So the 40 and 53 there, nice and close. Ben Hunt, Oliver, Harvey Ball. They fight their way up into midgets, into that right-hander that drops them down into Climate. Another right-hander. Elijah West comes under my nose in front. And again, another nice overtake. Was that the 40 on the 53 there, Harvey Ball? On Ben Hunt, got that position back, I think. Louis Lavelle, yeah, so Louis Lavelle's holding on to third at the moment from Harvey Ball, who's now the leading chase of that chase pack. Ben Hunt, Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels. That's the chasing pack behind Louis Lavelle for that third spot. So there's nearly a 4-second gap between first and second, which is Elijah West and Marley Fisher. And then we've got a 3-second gap back to Louis Lavelle. But that little chasing pack there, that's a real race developing for that bronze medal spot. As we go through, Oliver Dan 6th, Jack Daniels 7th, Zane Williams is holding on to 8th, and that novice plate's done really well. Kian Kostler is in 9th, Arthur Kayser in 10th, Freda Bond 11, Rishan Kostler from Max Smith, Warren Atkins in the novice plate, Jack Gillett, Jack Hudson, George Bett, Lenny Dorrington, Max Thompson and Jensen King. That takes us up to 20 with Harrison Parkin, Henry Perrin, Harry Reid and Charlie Dickinson bringing up the rear. But the battle that in this race is now is really for that third spot. There's a minute and a half plus the lap to go. Just keeping an eye, it's all getting a bit busy now. Elijah West still out front. We are going to start catching up to those back markers. And it's going to be, there's Louis Lavelle, so he's out, he's in third place from Harvey Ball there. Ben Hunt, 24 of Oliver Dan, just looking up the inside, looking to make a move through midgets. Elijah West comes under my nose. He's out front from Marley Fisher. He's holding on to that second place. About a 5-second gap now. Back to Louis Lavelle in third. Harvey Ball, Oliver Dan up into fifth from Ben Hunt. And then Jack Daniels. Those 5 drivers are all fighting for that third place on the podium. That is what is up for grabs at the moment. First and second is out of reach. First and second is Elijah West's and Marley Fisher's, as long as they don't make any mistakes. Nothing technical, nothing mechanical, nothing in the head. They've just got to hold on to that. Some nice battling going on down further down the order as well. They just pick up on the 14 kart there. Jensen King just made a nice move. Back down in the pack there, fighting away. But we are 30 seconds, so we're going to get 2 laps left of this race. Elijah West, an ultimate lap here from Marley Fisher in second. The gap now is just coming up to 6 seconds. And then we've got a back marker in front of Louis Lavelle, so this could be interesting as they go through Haynes Loop. Back marker essentially gets pushed over and out of the way by that chasing pack of 5 who are all still stuck together. That was the 11 kart, I think, of Ollie Garlinge. Fair play, got out of the way, did a nice wide line around Haynes Loop. Fair play, that was nice driving from him. From a novice driver, that's good to see. So that's the third place kart of Louis Lavelle at the minute. He goes through the bus stop, up into midgets, and it will drop down into climate. So last lap board is out for our race leader, which is Elijah West, and Marley Fisher comfortable in second place. I think those two are going to be stood on first and second on the podium, but I'm not sure what is going to happen with third. And I think the battle in pack behind Louis Lavelle, they've almost given him a little bit of breathing space. Harvey Ball, Ben Hunt, Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels and Zane Williams. They've just given him a bit more of a gap there to be able to pull away. So that is there, the red, white and green helmet there of Louis Lavelle in third place. He's holding on. That's our leader. So we have picked up the leader. So I will talk you through what is going on. To be honest, Louis Lavelle has got a bit of a space now in that third place race. This is your race leader, Elijah West. Deserves the camera as he comes across the start-finish line. He's dominated the race today, dominated the event. He's driven exceptionally well. He takes the win. Third place is still with Louis Lavelle, and it's going to be tight coming around the last corner. This is that pack coming into shot now, and it is Louis Lavelle who held his nerve in that 23 kart to hold on to third place from the brilliant Harvey Ball, Ben White, Oliver Dan, Jack Daniels. Fair play to all of them. That was a terrific race. Zane Williams coming in 8th, Kian Kostler 9th, Freya Bond 10th, Arthur Kaiser 11, Max Smith 12, Rian Kosler, Rishan Kosler in 13, Warren Atkins 14, Jack Gillett 15. That was our top 15, and that was a good race. And the guys really gave us something to talk about in that battle for third place, that is for sure. That is for sure. So, there you go, there's your confirmed Elijah West, Marley Fisher, Louis Lavelle. They take the top 3, they take the podium in the honours, the trophies, but good points on the board for the Harvey Bell and that chasing pack of drivers. So, disappointingly, I can see a few spots of rain on my window as we just prepare now for this Junior A. This is the last race of the day. Again, a big thank you for watching the stream.